Hey everybody, welcome back to another Tasting Tuesday. This week we're going to be doing some Japanese whiskey. The first week we did the Nikka Days, and I told you I had tried some of the more sophisticated single malt whiskeys that they put out, and today we're going to do some tasting of them. The first one I actually purchased was this Yoichi single malt, and it's more of the peated smoky whiskey from this. I don't know how I'd say it. I guess Nikka's a company that owns two distilleries. And so they own Yoichi and Miyagiko. And so these are the two distilleries. They do some blends of these where they blend them together. The Nikka Days is a blend. They have a pure malt blend. I think they used to have a 12-year, 15-year, and 17-year. Now they just have a 17-year. That's like $500. So we're not going to be trying the 17-year, but their pure malt is about the same price as these. I think in the $60 to $80 range, depending on where you find it. And that one is pretty good. I mean, it's definitely like a blend between these two. But I think individually they're a little bit better. And I think last week that they announced that they're going to be bringing back the 10-year age statement for the Yoichi single malt. So not sure when we'll get to see that in America, but they're saying at the end of the year or early next year they're going to be putting out the 10-year in Japan, and hopefully we can try that down the road. But let's get into the tasting. I love these bottles. They always have these little screw tops, and they're so easy to take off, and they're pretty high quality and definitely tougher caps than you would think. They're not like the cheap plastic ones they make here in America. These are nice. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Miyagiko. Now this one is aged a little bit in sherry casks. Tends to be a little bit sweeter, a little bit more fruit forward. No peat, so no smoke. And the Yoichi is more of a smoky whiskey. So we'll compare the two here. I mean, just this explosion of fruit and caramel. I mean, specific fruits, a touch of banana, maybe a little bit of apple. Definitely some caramel and some malt. You get a little bit of that sherry influence. Sherry has kind of like a port wine flavor. I think sherry is port wine. Never had sherry, but a lot of the whiskeys from Scotland that I really liked, the Macallan, Glendronach, Arbelor, which I have an Arbelor 16. I think we'll do that review in a couple weeks here, but those are all heavy sherried scotches. There's an immediate pepper. Like there's a spice and a sweetness. It's really good. I mean, I'm definitely getting that apple, apricot, the floral notes that you normally get with Japanese whiskey. It's very light, but it's got a real sweetness to it. Almost like, I don't know if it's made with, I guess it's all single malt, so there's no corn. I was going to say you get like a sweetness almost like a bourbon, but bourbon's made with corn. So this is all malt, so it's malted barley. I mean, yeah, I'm getting apples, apricots, banana, maybe a hint of lemon, some of that toffee. You know, there's that caramel. No smoke. Let's look at the Yoichi. Whoa. Wow, I mean, completely different. I had never tried them back to back. I've had them at different times. I bought the Yoichi about 3 months before I bought the Miyagiko. So as you can see, it's a little bit lower here. I wanted to get a review in like this before I finished it. It smells really briny. Like, I think they aged this one close to the ocean. So it's got like a little bit of peat smoke. There's a real savoriness to it, like a salty seawater. Maybe a hint of that apple or a hint of that lemon. touch of honey. Very little sweetness. It is way more savory than sweet. This is like, that dessert, and this is like, you're still getting a little bit of the fruit, but it's a lot more savory, like the main course meal. Let's give it a little taste. Wow. That same spice that hits you with this one is in the Yoichi as well. It hits you with the spice and you get that peat smoke. It's pretty intense smoke, but it does mellow really fast into a honey, caramel, lemon. It's really nice. I actually bought this and I was surprised when I bought this of how different it was. And for a while I was like, the Miyagiko, it's so good with the sherry influence and it's got this sweetness to it and it's so much easier to drink. And I always felt this one was a little more intense, like it really challenged you a little bit more. And now I'm coming back to it, a couple weeks since I've had it last, and I think this is really approachable. I think it's really interesting. It's complex. I think this would go amazing with a meal. I've had it with sushi before. Just pour a glass, throw a little bit of water in, so it's not so high alcohol, and it goes well with sushi. I know that. And then this one might be good for like after dinner, if you just want to have a whiskey by itself. Wow. The honey, touch of fruit, white flour, smoke. A lot of smoke coming in. Kind of coats from beginning to end. Covers your mouth with that smoke peat flavor. But also there's like a saltiness and an oceany brininess to it. I think they age near the ocean. Might be influenced from the air and the salt water that is in the air. Yeah, just like this one is like honey, apples, apricot. Touch of creaminess. A little bit desserty. Maybe there's a caramel, toffee. A lot of toffee. Getting a lot of toffee now. The slightest hint of orange. A little bit of orange on this one. Very similar to the Hibiki Harmony or the Yamazaki, where I get this touch of fruit and orange. This one's right up there in that league, and it's a lot more affordable. So if you like those, I think I would definitely pick up a Miyagiko single malt and give it a try. If you like something a little more bold, a little more intense, it's going to challenge you a little bit more. The Yoichi with the peat smoke and the complex flavors, every sip is going to kind of evolve. Goes great with a meal. This one definitely more for after a meal. I think these are great on their own. I think the pure malt I also bought because I love these so much, and I've been kind of going back to the pure malt occasionally, which is a blend of the two, the Nikka pure malt or Taketsuru pure malt. I definitely think these are better on their own, and I'm excited that they're bringing the 10-year back of the Yoichi. I hope the 10-year comes back of the Miyagiko, and then I hope they bring back the 12s and the 15s. I think these on their own are the best expressions of what Nikka has to offer right now. Again, I haven't tried the 17-year because it's super expensive. Maybe I'll try it at some point at a restaurant or something, but I believe that's also a pure malt blend and just aged longer. So I would try these on their own. I think they're fantastic. And ratings, I like to throw out a quick rating here. Sometimes I revise it later, but on this one, I'm going to give this for the Miyagiko, I'm going to go a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's really drinkable, really great. There's a lot of Japanese whiskey notes in there that you get with some of the other whiskeys. It's definitely elevated with that sherry cask finish. I don't really see that in a lot of Japanese whiskeys, so I'm going to give 7.5 out of 10. And for the Yoichi, I really do like the peat smoke in this. I know I've said I don't like heavy peated stuff. It's pretty heavy, but I just thought it was so mellow and complex. I'm going to give it a 7.9 out of 10 for the Yoichi. So pick these two up if you can find them, and give them a try. The Nikka Distillery, we got the Miyagiko and the Yoichi single malts. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you back here next week.